Yeah.
much after your transplant did you actually become pregnant with your beautiful daughter?
So um we transferred in February. Um it's really funny because I don't know where to start. My mind is racing. So we became pregnant in February, um, and had our baby girl. It's so hard to say because it just all still feels so surreal, and I never want to just say it lightly. I feel like every time I have to like take a deep breath in and just remind myself how miraculous it is and how like lucky we are, and we never want to. I really hope that it just never becomes like normal. um, we had our daughter in October, um, on October 8th, on Vav Tishrei. We had our
Wow.
daughter.
That's a
Um,
very special, date on the Hasidic calendar.
we do. Yes, it's Rebbetzin Chana's, right? Your site.
Yes.
And it's funny because I've had so many people on Instagram messaging me the few days after, because Baruch Hashem, we shared our nace publicly that we had a daughter,
A
and
miracle.
so many, yes, and so many people were messaging, obviously, Mazel Tov, congratulations messages, as well as name suggestions, and oh, did you know it's this birth date and it's this yard site and it's
Right.
so yeah.
Wow.
Um,
Wow. So
but
you go ahead.
no, so the pregnancy itself, we didn't share. Um,
You didn't share with people. You didn't
we
tell
didn't
people
share
about
with
it or
people. We shared with family.
Mhm.
Even family, we really shared a bit later on than what most people tend to
Mhm.
do. Um, things were
Um,
just so complex, and it was all so miraculous. And we really just wanted to keep it in the most smeous, modest,
mhm.
private manner that we possibly could. And we very much felt that, God willing, when we do have our miracle in our hands, um, we will shout it from the rooftops. We will agree to go on a podcast, even though it's so scary, because we really do believe that it's our job. Um, that if we were chosen and privileged enough to be the recipients of such a miracle, how can we not make sure to spread the abilities and the miraculous powers that God has with the world? Um, and so that's where we are.
Amazing. Amazing. Tell us what you called your daughter.
So her name is Eliana Amuna. Um, Eliana means God has answered, or God answers, and pretty self-explanatory. It's a beautiful name, and the meaning just makes it all the more beautiful. And Emuna means faith. Um, I couldn't decide if we wanted to do both names, and actually, we went to bed the night before naming her with the name just being Eliana, and I called Corey like an hour before shul. I called him. I couldn't sleep that night, and can't really sleep any night, but I called Corey and I said, "No, it's Amuna too." Like, I it just it just I couldn't feel it out until I felt it, and I knew it was both names. And I think that what we love about the mixture is that, God answers, and luckily and with so much gratitude, God answered us for the positive, and He answered us in the way that we wanted Him to answer us. And that hasn't always been the case, and it won't always be the case. It's not like, oh, our life is now perfect, or anyone's life is ever perfect. God always answers. It's not always in the way that we hope, and that's where the amuna, that's where the faith steps in. Um, and we just have to hold on to amuna and hold on to the faith that, you know, please God, He should always answer us in the ways that we want Him to, or that what we want should line up with what God knows is best for us and what we ultimately need. We're very grateful that with Eliana and Muna, with our daughter, that he answered us.
Hmm. Amazing. Mazel tov. It's pretty recent. It's just like
Thank
she's
you.
what, a little over 2 months, 3 months, 2
Yeah.
and a half months now,
Yeah.
right? Wow. Wow, incredible. What an incredible, incredible story.